Oh no, that doesn't look good.
Hope you got your notes refreshed.
I do. I like ran it. I was like, the numbers are dwindling. It's likely. Plus, I had plenty of time to pay attention while y'all were off gallivanting and dying. Um, all right.
Yours?
Oof.
Wait,
No,
well,
I like to
it's
imagine
me.
Blythe was just writing in her diary, "Dear diary, today the boys were
Dear-
idiots."
The boys were done today. All right. So yeah. Um, last session started off with us leaving Mons Domos, with the children in tow, having successfully gotten them out of the city and having a very successful performance by Claire. We first stopped off at the farm just outside the city, about 4 hours, where we knew the last child from the orphanage was. And after kind of scoping out the situation, Vito went to go talk to him, and he opted to stay at the farm. He didn't want to go back to another orphanage, and he was around 13, so we decided to respect his wishes and let him know that if he ever did need anything, we were happy to come get him. He could find us. So after that, we had another interaction with one of our youngest little buddy from the orphanage, a young tiefling, where Urist and the young tiefling interacted about the fiendish individual who was living rent-free inside that child's brain and soul. And through some high charisma rolls and some intimidation and divine magic, we were able to kind of make a dent in that stronghold the fiend had over the child's soul. Who knows where that'll go moving forward, but for now, he seems to be doing okay. And then, on the way to Von Stoma, or the way to Thorpe, we came across an open grave. Deciding to initially bypass it because we had a lot of children in tow and we need to get to Thorpe. About 30 minutes passed, we heard a scream coming from the forest, and the might of Urist's bond to his new deity kind of coursing through him, he decided to run off into the forest to save whoever was shrieking and thwart the evil. Ned wouldn't let him go alone, so after some protests from mostly Blythe, but most of the party, they went off. Things did not go well initially. There was a lot of dry corpses there. So Dara and Vita decided to go off after them and try and help and try and make sure that our lovely boys didn't get killed. And it was a tough fight. It was very difficult. Thankfully, there was some wonderful divine intervention or divine magic coming from Dara's connection with her god and able to turn the undead, causing many of them to run away. So a little bloodied, a little bruised. They won after Blythe stayed with the children to make sure it wasn't just George and Squidly making sure the children stayed in the camp. And everyone came back a little dejected, but particularly Urist and particularly Ned. And conversations were had, and we bedded down for the night, not receiving the benefit of a full rest, but still getting some rest.
Okay. That is all?
That is all.
Perfect. So Blythe, you earned yourself a DM inspiration, a D10 that you can roll whenever to add or subtract from any D20 roll in this session.
Awesome. Thank you.
Use it wisely.
Well, I shall.
And that being said, after your rest, your first of the 3 more days of travel, if I'm not mistaken, uh, the children are more calmer than you would expect. They seem to react differently to uh, these uncommon situations that you find almost abhorrent. They seem to either don't care a lot or at least don't show that they are afraid or anything. So you are surprised by how well the children are handling all these dangers on the road. But that being said, after the exorcism on the young Grelia, now they are all well and good, following your pace while into the carriage going to Torpe. As you all wake up, what do you want to do?
I'd like to, since I don't sleep as much, I'd like to get up before everybody else does, as the sun's kind of rising, and I'm gonna go pick a bunch of just like pretty leaves and flowers, to attempt to make Ned some tea. No idea if they are toxic or what. They're just pretty. I don't know shit about that. I'm still learning. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna forage and make Ned a cup of tea, and then when Ned wakes up, I'm just gonna be like sitting beside him, holding this cup of tea, just kind of like staring at him, just waiting for him to wake up.
Ned is like still laying there, like in his little like sleeping bag, and just like, "Morning, Dara."
Good morning. I made you this. I give you the tea.
Thanks. How long have you been sitting there?
Like 3 hours, I think.
Oh, okay.
It might be cold.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Ned is going to take a sip of the tea. Is it toxic? Because Ned has no reason to suspect it is not toxic.
Yeah, I would say since Dara didn't chose the plants carefully, I would say there's a 5% chance, and it is not toxic.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Unless I was looking for a 13, the unlucky number.
Your call, man.
No, just kidding. I was looking if I rolled a 1, yeah.
We're gonna start the session like that. Let's go for it.
Okay, make a Constitution save against death. No, I'm just. You drink the tea. It is warm. It is calming.
Ned kind of takes a deep breath. He did not sleep well.
So, I noticed when we got in the fight, you afterwards, you kind of look like me. Like gray. Yeah. Your skin
Yeah.
doesn't normally turn that color. Mine does, but not yours. Are you dying?
I think Ned's gonna roll an insight check on himself. I don't know if Ned knows. I legitimately don't know if Ned knows.
Roll for deception or persuasion against yourself.
Ned rolls a 17 on persuasion. His passive deception is 21. I don't think Ned knows if he's dying. So I think Ned just kind of sits with that realization for a moment and goes, I don't really know, Dara. It's a loaded question first thing in the morning. No, I'm okay. Just struggling, you know?
Put my like chin on my knees and I'm like, then why are you gray?
I don't. In that fight, I wasn't using the stuff I learned from Raphael. I wasn't using the stuff I learned as Claire, as a bard. I was relying on. I think Ned kind of just gestures at Squidly in the distance. I was relying on that. And I don't know if it's the magic itself or if it's where it comes from, but it just took a lot out of me, you know?
I'm just gonna like grab him by the head and kind of like inspect it. Is there a demon in your head like that kid?
Not in my head so much, more kind of on my shoulder, you know?
And
You know,
like
there.
over his shoulder. I don't see anything.
It's. Oh god, you don't know what a metaphor is.
Is that a rock that like hits the earth?
We're gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that. I relied a lot on what I got from Raphael and what I learned as a bard, and I loved every single minute of it. I think the first time I saw Claire in the mirror was the first time I didn't want to destroy what I saw there, and I didn't hate what I saw in the mirror. But Urist almost died last night. I almost had to watch my best friend die, and I wasn't strong enough to do anything about it, and there wasn't a damn thing that Clairvoyant could have done. So maybe there are demons in my head, but not like the little boy, you know? Maybe sometimes just memories and choices we've made are those demons.
I understand that sort of.
I know.
I think Claire is pretty powerful. And I think that yesterday just really sucked.
Yeah, it did. You see that this morning Ned is not like as pale as he was yesterday, and like most of the like colors kind of returned to his cheeks, but there is just like a little lock of hair kind of on the edge of his bangs that's just a little bit lighter than the rest of his hair. And I think he just kind of sits with that for saying that, yeah, it did suck. Thanks for coming bailing me out.
Always.
How mad is Blythe?
I still haven't talked to her, and I'm a little scared to talk to her. So you go talk to her. That's what I mean.
No, that's that. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that here in a sec. Let me. Did you like a sip? It's actually surprisingly good.
Okay.
And I think Ned just kind of sits with Dara, just quietly sipping tea and thinking.
I think Ned is usually the one who makes like breakfast for all of us, but knowing the night everybody had and all of that, Blythe, as soon as she gets up, kind of goes into worker bee mode and starts like just preparing some rations for the camp and all the kids and all of the brute force members as well. She's so busy she can't get mad.
I think Ned is watching from afar in that way that all cooks do anytime somebody is cooking in their kitchen or with their tools, but is also too afraid of Blythe to go and say anything. She was just like, ooh, oh, there's a lot of shell in those eggs.
No, Blythe's preparing to be a housewife.
Oh,
she knows
okay.
what she's doing.
Okay.
That was the world she was preparing before.
That is a very good point. So I think he's more like, damn, she's actually really good.
It's not going to be fancy, but it'll get you fed and it'll keep your insides warm.
Exactly.
I think at some point
for 20 people almost.
I think at some point, like, Ned kind of psychics over to Urist as he's sitting alone. Is like, hey, I know you probably feel about as shitty as I do right now. Let's talk later.
Sure. Urist
I don't-
is being extremely laconic, more so than the usual. And if you actually touch his mind, you see he's not troubled, just pensive, which is weird because Urist usually doesn't think.
I think Ned is more concerned by the pensive attitude than the physical wounds.
Yes.
Like, oh Jesus, this man got fucked up.
The quietest brute force has ever been, basically.
There's not a single dick joke told at dinner or breakfast.
Also, a lot of children under the age of 6. So,
That would not affect Dar's jokes at all.
Yeah, Ned's neither. They're gonna hear it. They're gonna hear it at some point.
Just lots of food getting stuffed in those 2 mouths, that's all.
that's not Blythe laughing. That's Lauren. Yeah.
Eat your sausage and be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
It only took us 18 sessions to get here.
yeah.
Shall we hit the road?
Let's.
I think we should. Got a long day ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's.
Did anybody who rolled hit dice last section add their d6?
Yeah, I did. With the D6, I'm at full HP.
Cool.
I think I did.
I don't think I got hit.
Vita's hard to hit. Tiny little bunny.
Boing, boing.
Come at me, bros.
Well, since you
Don't
are
tempt
ready,
them, they will.
Since you are ready to take on the road, since you already faced some dangers on the way, the chance of you heading straight into another source of danger is significantly reduced, because now you need to roll a d8 instead of a d6, so that's more numbers to not roll a 1.
Oh, thank God.
Guys, that is too close.
Listen, I was the one who rolled the 1 last time.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Less mediocrity.
Okay, so the second day goes uneventful. Neither too little nor too much luck on your way. Just plain road without many obstacles on your way. So you travel as much as you can. You stop to leave the donkeys some well-deserved rest before you continue all the way up to sundown. Then you sleep for another night. This time another short rest, so if you still have things to recover, hit points, hit dice to spend, you can just declare to use it now if you want to do any more interactions. If not, you can all roll another time, another d8, each one of you. For the
What I'd like to do is, I think Blythe would want to sit down and talk with Vida a little bit at the end of the night after the day has traveled. She's simmered with her thoughts enough, and kind of pulls Vida aside to talk a little bit, and starts with just a very soft, "Hey, how are you doing after everything yesterday?"
I'm okay. I guess. Just.
I
What's up?
I don't know what to do. I saw when I finally figured out I could send Daisy there, how bad things were, and I can't help but think it wouldn't have been that bad if I went, but I'm really worried about the amount of things we try to take on without finishing the things we've already committed to as a group. And I think it's
Well,
only going to get worse as we go on.
it could get worse, but if we keep in mind our immediate priorities and we use our heads, the two of us at least should be able to kind of ride herd on the boys.
I don't want to be in a position where I feel like I have to choose between protecting you all and protecting the people that we've in a position that need to be protected.
Well,
I'm just scared about that, I think.
that's perfectly reasonable to be scared about. Now, there's gonna be times where we're all gonna be in danger because we're trying to protect other people. And there's just nothing that you can do about that except do the best you can to keep an eye on each other and at the same time try and take out those who are threatening the others. Like, we have to look out for the rest of the party at the same time as we're fighting, and that's going to be difficult. It's going to require us to split our attention sometimes. And you're right, we are trying to take on too many things at once sometimes. We're getting thrown into things we aren't ready for, that we don't know how to work our way through, how to navigate them. And I'm just as lost as you are, but just like yesterday, we have to choose who's in more immediate need of our help. And I know that sounds a little cold, but when it comes down to it, we cannot protect everyone. You have to choose at some point.
I keep replaying it in my head, and I don't know if
Okay.
Urist or Ned had actually died, and I wasn't there.
Sweetie, what if it had happened and you were there? What could you have done?
Throw a big old flame at a fire of undead people?
But would that have brought either of the boys back?
I mean, I have healing magic too, but I guess that's my thing is I don't know.
Well, okay, so I got to see what was going on firsthand. Now, you're incredible, so don't take this the wrong way. I don't really think that one more person being there would have made much of a difference. Like, at the speed we had to travel to get there, and the number of them there were, I don't know that one more person would have made much of a difference.
Maybe. But I can also breathe fire now. I don't know if I've showed you that, but I can do that. It's really cool.
No, you didn't, but if you remember, the boys were surrounded at the time. If you had breathed fire, you would have just hurt them too.
I've learned how to not.
Have you?
I can do it all the time. I can do it like once or twice, but I've learned how to not.
Ooh, That's gonna be fun to watch. But
I
Back to-
know what you're saying, though. I just, I worry that sometimes, you and myself included, we're all so ready to sacrifice ourselves to protect other people. Whereas if we were all just taking a little bit better care of ourselves and cared about ourselves the same way others care about us, we'd need a lot less protecting.
you might be right. But I want you to focus on something, okay? So, you were worried about Urist and about Ned. Two people. Well, we went off and helped them. You stayed here by yourself and you protected 9 people.
I mean,
So
I
who
would make the
was
same
more
choice.
important? Who was
I'd
more
make-
important yesterday? Who did more? Us or you? Because you protected 9 small, helpless lives, and we just helped 2 fools who rushed into danger.
I know, but
And hey,
I'd do it
everything
again.
worked out.
You're right. You're right. I'd do it again.
I guess
I'd make the same choice. I don't know.
I guess what I'm really trying to say is you need, and this is going to be kind of funny considering your vocation, you need to have more faith in your family. You have to trust that, for the most part, that we can look after ourselves.
There's just a fine line between looking after ourselves and being reckless, and I think we toe that line a lot, myself included.
We do, and they definitely crossed that line yesterday. But if we didn't have the kids with us, you would have been right there running after to find out who was screaming for help.
Absolutely. But I think even
That's part of the recklessness that you're talking about.
but I think there's a difference between recklessness when we go as a united front and we do it staggered. I think that's more. I think overall we've gotten very comfortable splitting ourselves up, and I just have this sinking feeling that after what I felt that was inside of that book, we need each other, and we have to stay together. We have to stay united to face what that is, because even then it's terrifying.
And we'll make a pact right now, you and I. We keep an eye on each other, we keep an eye on the others, and if we think that we're being too reckless, we speak up.
I like it. I'm just gonna sip whatever liquid I'm drinking that evening. I'm assuming it's probably some kind of tea, and nod at Vida. I think that's how we protect ourselves moving forward, is by speaking up.
Yes, we're gonna have to, and we have to be smarter about what we choose to do and what we get ourselves involved in, because as formidable as we are, we're still just 5 small people in a really big, dangerous world that, for the most part, doesn't like any of us.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, thanks for letting me chew your ear off with my concerns, and
Vita reaches
I
up
know.
and feels her ears.
Come on. You know what I mean. But
Vita'll smile, and I think she'll hug you at this point and just say, "I know, I know."
I just love those knuckleheads.
Yeah, they might be blunt objects, but
Oh, we're blunt
there are
objects.
knuckleheads. There are knuckleheads.
Well, get some rest. We've got another day of travel.
Yeah, you too.
And I go off to sleep.
I think Vita's gonna take about an hour and just like prowl around maybe 20 feet outside the campfire and just make sure that the area is safe.
Okay.
And then she'll turn in for the night.
I think Ned goes and finds Urist at this point.
Urist is like doing maintenance on his armor and weapon,
I think
patiently working.
Ned does that guy thing when like they don't want to talk about their feelings, where they just kind of, or he just kind of comes and sits and watches you work in silence for a little bit. He just kind of watches you for a bit and goes, "So, do you want to talk about what happened?"
Sure. What's eating at you?
Pardon?
What's eating at you? Because obviously something is. I'm not that stupid.
I'm not calling you stupid, Urist. Are you okay?
Am I?
Yeah.
Good question.
Because I know I'm not okay. And so
The
I
most
can't.
honest answer I can give you is I don't know. Should I be okay? Should I not be okay? You see, here's my clutch. Never in my life I have been in a situation when I did something good and at the same time a horrible decision for a lot of reason, and then the whole thing like started collapsing like a mine shaft in my head. And because on one hand I gave peace to those poor things, and of that I know because hey, they told me. Just at least the only one who could actually speak as I was killing him. But that like cascaded a lot of questions, and that's even like taking away the thing that I almost got you guys killed. But that's another thing. That's a whole another chest. And the thing is, when I acted and you were there and you saw it, I was exactly like those sanctimonious bastards I swore to fight against. And I still ask myself, where's the line that you draw? What do you do to not slide into that? Because I know what to do. I renounced a lot of things to embark in this. I'm not even saying crusade because it sounds fucking pretentious. I don't know. This quest, this oath. And it gave me direction, but I realized that if you keep going that way and don't ask yourself questions, you end up thinking you're always in the right, no matter what you do. And this is poisonous. Because remember what half-elf wizard guy Melmore was his
Yeah.
name, I think,
Melmore, yeah.
told us about his brother. All this whole shit and his brother becoming the Hag King started as nothing more than a difference in political opinion, philosophy. I mean, like, that guy simply thought that people were unable to coexist peacefully and would always fight. Which is something, to be honest, he has some point. Because people are like that. People are stupid. They will always find a reason to, like, go at each other's throat. No matter what it is. And his solution was, then I'll make them obey. And I thought, like, this guy is probably think he's doing it for the greater good. I'm starting to think that, like, the Head King doesn't wake up every morning saying, how many kids will I sacrifice? I'm so evil. No. Just like those nobles, most of them, I think, or those people in the church. They think they are good people, but look at what they do. And I am terrified. This scares me. Because I think, how many steps am I before I become like them? And I don't want to.
Do you remember the day we met
Uh-huh. Yeah.
out there on the battlefield? You found me out there.
Yep.
Do you know you saved my life that day? I was alone. I thought that every single brother I had made in that army, the closest thing I'd had to a family in my entire life, it's gone. And I was ready to join them. And you found me there on that field. And you took me, and you took the blade from my hand. And you told me it was going to be okay. And I don't know if you believed it in that moment. I don't know if you did, but in that moment you meant it enough that I believed it. And it kept me going. You have lived in a world with a lot of black and white, man, and I get how scary it is to start to see the shades of gray, and I get how scary it can be to question your motives and if you're really a good person. And I don't have the answers for that. I am the last person to lecture anybody on personal morality and their place in the universe. What I do know is that the dwarf who took a battered and broken halfling off of a battlefield and told him it was going to be okay, that man's going to make the right choice. And that man has nothing to prove. They're my best friend, Urist. And I know you don't think you have the answers right now, and maybe you don't, but you're going to find them. And if you don't find them, then whatever you believe in, you'll believe strong enough that it becomes the answer. Just like you made me believe that I was going to be all right.
But you are alright. Okay, since we're here, shoulder to shoulder, on this fallen tree, I'm gonna tell you one thing. When I found you, and I took that knife away from your throat, I saw someone who had potential. I saw someone who simply didn't see it. And to be honest, I don't know why I had that flash of insight, because usually I don't have flash of insight. I'm the opposite of insight. I am outside, if there's a word for that. But I knew that you were just a vein of mithril waiting to come out. You just weren't seeing it because you made, in my opinion, a mistake. A mistake that you recently corrected, and that made me very, very happy. You placed your value as a person on those around you. And when they were gone, you thought that so was your value. And this is why I thought you wanted to end yourself. Now I think you have realized that you are you. No matter what people think of you, when you created this whole bardic persona around you, and I see you. You're happy. You're happy, and you don't care. And this is what tells me you realized that. This is what you needed. You stopped thinking, at least maybe for the most part. I'm not you, I don't know. But you went to from self-destructive insane to productive insane. You're still insane, but at least you're a happy mad guy. And that makes me happy.
I can appreciate that. Productive insane. There's
Yes, that's what you are. You are productively insane, and you are comfortable. And I'm really glad. And to be honest, that's all you needed. I think you find your answer. And you're right. I have to find mine. But one thing I have to say, no, it's not what I believe in, if I believe in it strong enough, that has to become the answer, because otherwise I would be exactly like the people I don't want to be. Because that's what they do. They believe in something so strongly that it becomes their answer. And look where they let us know. I don't have to make my answer. I have to find it. And then I have to see if I like it or not. And if I don't like it, well, I'll have to deal with it.
throw it in the trash, go find a new one.
No, you can't pick and choose the truth.
There are several nobles back in Mons Dumas who would beg to disagree with you.
Yes, and this is why I don't want to become like them.
I was saying more because I lied stupid to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's you. I wouldn't
that's
have been able to do that.
I know, and that's why you've got me, and that's why I've got you. Because I bend the truth that you can't, and you bend the skulls that I can't.
Right.
I'm
Your
gonna
turn
get some.
now.
What's up?
Your turn. Come
Yeah.
on. Lay it on me. What's wrong?
Just figuring stuff out. Having to weighing the choices between the power to be strong and the power to be who I am.
But
And
I just told you. Who you are is strong.
I know. I know.
Okay. I never asked you one thing.
What's up?
Out of respect for your privacy, I think. Probably
Yeah.
like it's probably one of the last remnants of my old heritage clinging to me like the shreds of an old pair of underwear that I haven't changed for a year.
Lord, Urist, be less descriptive, and Ned's gonna take a drink.
What? I thought you would appreciate it as a bard.
I
Anyway. Anyway. What exactly did you bargain with? Because you're not a wizard. You're not like Blythe. And you're not like Dara. And maybe you're kinda like me, but your magic is weird. I can
know you're.
I could feel it before and more so now that my perception has been, let's say, opened with this writing on my head I have.
That's the heck of a question, Urist.
Yeah, but I think it's time I know.
I made a deal that I first saw Kim, it, them, whatever it is. I first saw it about 6 months after we met. Started
Okay.
coming to me in dreams. Had the face of brigands. Kid from my unit couldn't have been more than 16, 17. He was a good kid. He started coming to me in my dreams, begging for vengeance, begging to be avenged. And that was about the time I started drinking because, that's something lovely to carry around with you every day and every night. The waking nightmares weren't enough. Now I gotta live with the dreaming ones too. Bullshit.
Yeah.
But eventually the liquor stopped working. So it got to be too much. So I asked what he would do, what I could do to just make him go away, to put him at peace. And so that was the deal. My soul bought his peace. And maybe a few other of their other souls. But
The are you? Do you think you did the right thing? Because this is important. See, I've done the same thing. I gave away something that defined me in exchange for justice and vengeance. You and I pretty much done the same thing.
Yeah.
So, do you think you did the right thing? Because this is the important question. Do you resent this? Do you still think that it was worth it?
I think that if my friend wasn't suffering, it was worth it. If it was the right thing, well, I think you know how scary it can be getting into the question of what was right or wrong.
In my opinion, you gave yourself the answer.
Yeah, probably.
If it was worth it, then it was the right choice. As the same as it was worth it for me saving you on that field, as it was worth it for you to come after me when I stupidly ran to fight a horde of undead, as it was worth it for us to save the kids, and for Dara to aid that bugbear. Bugbear, sorry.
Shit, I completely forgot about the bugbear. Fuck.
Yep.
I was like barely even there for that.
If it's worth it, then yes, it's the right choice. But you have to make peace with it.
I'm tired, Urist. I think I'm gonna get some sleep. Don't stay up too late, alright?
No, I won't. Good night, Ned.
Ned goes to bed.
Urist puts on his armor and starts his watch.
As all these like super passionate and intense conversations are going on, Dara is running around with the children and various daggers and pretending to be in the Underdark with them and slaying all of these monsters and giving the 5-year-old way too much detail on all the terrifying creatures in the Underdark, but having the time of her life.
Yeah, but that's a fucking spectacular background gag to that super intense conversation.
Right?
That's so glorious.
Just insanity.
And just very Dara.
Absolutely.
I think we all agree. Well, after everything that's been happening today, all the touching and the open-hearted conversations, you can notice that the children are maybe they don't understand everything that is being said. Maybe they aren't close enough to hear your conversations, but given the general vibe of your whole fellowship traveling around, you feel like almost as if the children start absorbing the energy that you are transmitting, and they are also very, very calm, very talkative in general. That up until Dara brings the knives out and starts scaring the children. But it is all part of the experience. With that, another night passes and we still have 2 more days ahead of us. I think one of the rolls has already been made. It was Vita's, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 more to go.
Okay.
Hey, Dara.
Still a D8. D8.
Safe.
Nice. Okay. The third and second to last day goes uneventful as well. As you are preparing to make your camp for the night, one of the children comes running and says, "Hey, look what I found here! It was near that lake. I think it's worth something." And she is holding a gemstone on her hand.
What kind is it?
Sorry?
What kind
What
is
kind
it?
of
What does it
gem?
look like? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like or like an ordinary sort of um, gemstone. It is not a magical one, but it looks expensive. It looks valuable.
Would it happen to be? Would it happen to be
What?
sapphire?
Let me see. Actually,
I missed the appraise skill.
yeah, it is not. It is a ruby.
Okay.
Oh, sick. Red is Ned's color.
Suddenly Claire has a turban.
Yeah, it is
But
not
guys,
a
it's like-
ruby from the DMG. Let me double check on that because that's very
Very
more
different.
of a- No, it's
No ruby of the war mage for you.
no, it's just a treasure of it's a monetary treasure. Yeah, I'll say it's a ruby. Yeah, unless you want to roll for specifics, you feel like it's worth a few $100.
I'm specifically searching out sapphires at this point, so that's why I ask. But yes, that sounds good. Well, thank you for that. And I think she gives it to Vita. Vita looks the most responsible.
I think Vita still has the bag of holding at this point. I think she's just gonna tuck the ruby away for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna pull out a little notepad and make a note of what's inside.
Pleasure.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it's a valuable. We'll have to wait and see how much how much can you get with it. But for the time being, another evening passes by, and we are now on our last random encounter roll. The last D8s,
Also-
everyone.
But just before nightfall,
Okay.
I'm gonna take a couple of the older kids with me, and take them out hunting and like teach them how to hunt a little bit. Doesn't need to be role played or anything like that, but just so that they know how to do it, so that when they're in Thorpe, if they need to hunt for food, a few of the older kids will know how.
Like it. Also, side note, could I spend an hour each evening copying a spell? Just like
Yes, you can.
chunking away hours at a third level spell.
Okay, you can retroactive consider that
Or
you've
here
been
and there.
doing that every night. Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. No. Blythe, your last D8.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Here we go.
Yay! Okay. Neither a 1 nor an 8. So, with that, as you are returning, you see no traces of the I forgot the name, the Silver Lakes troops on your way back. You see no trace of either the others, the other enemies that you've made along the way, like the necromancer. As far as you know, they probably all have traveled to the swamps of Tayug and didn't follow you towards Mons Domus. So as you spend your last night, you find rest on a hill, on top of a hill, and you have a very good sighting that you can see at the end of where your vision can see. You see the rooftops, and far beyond on the horizon you can see Torpe. That's where you're going to be the next day, some hours after traveling. Uh, Anything else you want to do, or you guys want to just skip ahead, go to Torpe?
I'm gonna keep doing the same thing with the kids, like every night. I'm taking a couple up to go hunting, and then also still teaching them how to use their daggers and scaring the shit out of them with stories of the Underdark.
Okay, make a survival check just for us to see how
I
well.
actually can hunt anything.
Yeah.
It's just taking forever.
What did you roll?
It hasn't. My page just crashed. Sorry.
What's your bonus to survival?
8.
Do you want one of us to roll for you?
Yeah, someone just wants to roll a d20 for me, and we'll add 8 to it, because...
Total of 22
Yeah.
then?
Okay. It's enough. You can successfully transmit your knowledge to the children. Most of them uh, got a very good notion of what is needed to to survive on the wilds. So with that, unless anyone wants to do anything else, on the next day.
Blythe's buried in her book. She's buried in her book.
I don't want to take up too much time, but I think Vita's going to check in on Urist and see where he's at in his headspace after the other day.
Okay. Well, Urist is doing pretty much the same things that he did on these days of travel, being silent, tending to his weapon, keeping to himself, but he doesn't look stressed, just lost in thought, which is
Characteristic.
For him, but I don't know, he doesn't seem sad, just
I think
staring into the distance.
I think Vita'll just kind of plop down next to him and start cleaning her weapons and just keeping him silent company.
He gives like an appreciative nod and like, thanks. Just like
She
thanks, you know, for everything.
she just gives him a little smile and just stays silent.
Ah,
I think Ned is gonna go like peek his head in on Blythe. It's like, hey, how mad are you still?
I want to say I was never mad, but that's obviously not true. But,
Yeah, don't shit me.
well, hold on. I don't think the reason I was mad was not. It was because I felt like I was in a position where I had to choose between doing what we had already agreed we were going to do and making sure that we were all okay. And I don't like that. And you all almost died.
I know.
And I talked to Vida about this a little bit, and we're heading into some dangerous stuff. And I care about you all, but I have to know we're going to be making smart decisions and not just decisions based on what we feel is right and wrong.
I know. I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
I'm just glad
To
we're
you.
okay.
I know.
I never thought we'd. Never in a million years did I think that these were the kinds of choices I'd have to be worrying about. And I accept your apology, but it's not needed. What I just need is for you to start caring about taking care of yourself as much as you care about taking care of others.
Damn, Blythe, just get me right where it hurts.
We all need to. Me too. I made some really dumb decisions recently and messed with things that I had no business messing with, and I almost lost my mind because of it. It was you all who saved me. And I think that's just the tip of what we're about to come up against. And it's terrifying. So I'm just glad you're okay. She's gonna kind of like knock her shoulder into his and say, "But I need you to stay okay."
I mean, you know, I was never
As you
really.
can be, you know.
I was never really okay to begin with, Blythe. I mean,
No.
you know, I've got aliens in my head.
She like raises her dripping hands of like rainbow ichor.
Daniel's like fist bump.
You know what I mean.
I do. I 6 weeks ago, my best friend and my only friend was a dwarf who I drank myself stupid with. 6 weeks ago, nothing mattered, least of all me. So
Get it.
I probably got lost in the feeling of having something to care about. But you're right. Thanks.
We're moving on from being able to save every little person to possibly being able to save the world. And I think it's good we don't lose sight of saving every little person, but sometimes she just kind of looks back at all the kids who are probably running around with knives.
And Dara. Yep.
Yeah.
Dara's got this. She can heal any stabbed out eyes.
My eyes grow a little wide. My eyes grow a little wide, and I just say, but we just can't lose sight of what's right in front of us. So, thanks for checking in. We're okay.
Have a good night, Blythe.
You too. Sleep on it.
Well,
Yes.
if
Those moments.
yeah, if this is uh, a moment to appropriate for that, I'll say that after another night of sleep, you wake up, you hastily run towards Torpe. The children are all very excited because of all the wonderful things that you told them about this place, and you are I imagine you are excited as well to return after some vacations on the capital. But we'll see how
Vacation.
we'll see how well all of that turns out as soon as we return from our break. So
Sounds
see you in
good.
5.
All right.
See you in 5. I'm back. Hey. I'm so disappointed. I found out the song that I was going to use for my audition. I can't use it anymore.
Pourquoi?
Well, they want specifically a 50s style pop rock. And I was going to do When You're Good to Mama from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm doing the first half of Paradise by Dashboard Light.
Fun.
But I'm so sad because I love Chicago. But it'll still be good.
Sadness.
Remind me that when we are on downtime, Urist has to talk to Vida regarding a project.
Okay.
She's taken up to tinkering. It's not something done in the immediate, but in the longer run.
Okay.
Oh guys, yesterday I was my whole band was invited to a podcast, and the guy makes turned one of the rooms on his house into a studio with like I don't know, I think it was 3 cameras and 6 microphones. He was so like a professional podcast studio on his home, and I was like, I had an idea earlier this year, and now I want the I got this rekindling on that idea because I want to make an RPG campaign in person, and I was searching for how much they forgot the word, but there are some studios that you can just pay for like 2 hours and you have their equipment, so you can record, you can live stream, etc. And yeah, in that studio, my idea was rekindling almost instantaneous. It's so fun.
That sounds awesome.
Only Blythe is not here, right?
Yes.
I'm
I
back.
had to.
No, she's here.
Maybe.
Awesome. We're all here.
Okay. So, you return finally to Torpe. You can see the city. You've been only a few days, maybe a few weeks away from it, but Oh, actually, you spent more, almost a month away from it, right? Because you had a downtime between levels 5 and 6. So, after a month, maybe a month and a half, you return to Torpe, and the city, as most other small villages uh, and towns, hasn't changed a bit. You can see that the tavern is almost rebuilt after the the fire. But other
Let's
than
not
That
go
they
there.
started.
but besides that, the rest, you can see the same familiar faces, you can see the same buildings and houses of commerce, so it's almost the same as you remember. What do you do?
I think first we need to go talk to Rainey's.
Rhaenys, yeah.
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 To Riri.
Okay.
See if she'll take our gaggle of kidnapped children.
Liberated. Liberated.
Liberated.
You go towards her temple, and you find Rhaenys attending to her duties. She welcomes you, saying, "Oh, long time no see, friends. Who are all these children?"
We kidnapped them!
Ah,
Ignore her. We didn't kidnap them.
Well,
They're refugees in
kind
need
of.
of a home.
I see. Are you sure you didn't? Not that I'm judging you, just I want to be sure.
They were children who were part of an orphanage in Mons Domos that was for non-Nalarian children that was shut down, and all the children were sold. So we liberated them.
I see. Well, she goes to one of the elven childs, and she starts speaking in Elvish. Anyone that understands can tell that she's saying, "Hello, little one. What is your name?" And the elven children that have not been in touch with their culture since they were born, because they probably have already been born into the large Nelarian city, doesn't understand what she's saying, and she then turns to you, saying, "Well, you have been a blessing to these poor souls, but I don't think they would be safe here. At least not as I think, as you probably thought they would be."
Why?
Because this town belongs to a Nelarian lord, and we have
Ooh.
it would be against the law to keep them here if word got out.
What lord?
Well, Lord Torpe. It's the town is named after his family.
I don't know that we were hoping this to be a permanent solution, but just something
No.
to get them out of the immediate danger they were in, while we either can return them to their homelands or to their families or find a permanent option.
Here's a big ask, DM. Would Claire have interacted at all with Lord Torpe during all of her elbow rubbing with the upper echelons in Mons Domus?
Uh, let's say you have a 5% chance. If I roll a 20,
Oh.
Close.
So close.
Damn.
You met his like weird cousin, Dorpe.
Derpy.
Yeah, you probably.
Derpy, son of Torpe.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, you haven't met him. And she said, and she says, well, I could hidden for a while, but maybe it's wiser to take them someplace else.
Well, I think there was some sisters who were turtles who may or may not also make soup out of other turtles, and I think they were gonna come here and be with the kids, and then we were gonna take them somewhere else. I think. And I'll like look at everybody else. Did I get that right?
From them making soup out of other turtles, you were spot on, Dara. I think, yeah, it's one of those things where, while Thorpe may not be the safest place, it is considerably safer than Mons Domos, where they're actively being hunted. At least for a temporary period. And if you could, we'd be happy to give you gold to the temple to make sure that until one of the sisters gets here, they at least have a roof over their head and food for a night or so.
So aren't you? So you want me to keep?
Don't you know of a place we can go?
I thought we were gonna use Fish's house.
Yes, I was about to say it.
Yes,
Yeah, I thought we were
yes.
using it or buying a house.
Or yeah, if there's a house to buy. I don't know. Offline, I don't know that we have enough gold to buy a house. But
I
we
don't
could
know.
put a hefty down payment. On a mortgage.
Come on, not here! This is a fantasy game!
Yeah, in a fantasy world, we have affordable housing and.
But
Just
also,
did that! No!
Subprime loans. Never heard of it, bro.
is there a place that we could take them that you know of that would be safe for them? Outside of Thorpe, eventually?
Well, nowhere near where the Nilarians are, so I would say the only safe place it's on Celsi, but the borders itself are dangerous. Once you traverse the borders, it will be easier. I could theoretically I could go there and be a sort of a diplomat. I still have some friends there, so it wouldn't be too much of an issue.
That would be very helpful. I think we do have some business to take care of in the area, just some things we need to check out. How long do you think a trip like that would be to arrange?
Well, I would have to find someone to take care of the temple in my absence, so unless if you have someone to suggest, it doesn't need to be someone with experience in being an acolyte, but just someone responsible enough to respect the idols and the ingredients and etc.
1, 2, 3, not it.
No.
The sisters could probably take care of it.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah.
I mean, that way
Or
they
if
don't
they're-
have to make the trip.
Or if there's any of the children who are older and don't necessarily want to go.
Wait, Rainus, couldn't you give us like a written like introduction and stuff to your friends?
A task of 10 children might be an in-person.
That's true.
It's more of a political issue because the two realms, even after the peace treaty, they are still in a bit of a one. An Elarian, it's unwelcome on those lands. You see.
So it's not really peace. It's just an armed truce.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Just great.
Well, I think that's a good option for us to explore. As we said, we've got some business in the area we need to attend to, and we do know of a place at least to house them for now. But we'll talk it over and see. And once the sisters get here, see that it's
Yeah,
okay.
do we know when they're coming? Did we give him a timeline? Did they give us a timeline? Like, we at least had our donkey. I think they might be very slow.
We're a day or two behind us.
That's enough time for us to go over to Darian's at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, to fishes then.
Okay. We'll gather up all the children and take them over to the other homeless children. Well, they've got a home. They've got no parents. But the other orphan people.
Unsupervised children.
Yeah!
Here, fish, we brought you the gift of found family.
Mm-hmm.
As in, we found this family for you.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You approach Fish's house, and as you enter, you see that it's a little bit more more well kept. It's a little cleaner. It's a little more organized overall, and you see Fish's playing on his patio. So as soon as he sees you, he says, "Oh, hello."
Hey, kid.
The fish.
Hey, long time no see. What's up?
We
Yes.
brought you children.
We brought some friends who are in the need of a place to stay from the city. We wondered if for an evening we might be able to stay here with you and stay with them.
Like a sleepover?
Exactly.
Okay. My sister hasn't returned from her chores, but I guess she will agree.
Blythe is gonna take out 15 gold and put it on the table.
Urist
say-
gives 20.
That is all she has left, was her 15 gold. But,
Urist
Um,
has 60, and now he has 40. Come on, guys, let's pitch in.
Ned's gonna throw
I
a
think that's good.
Ned's
That's a
gonna
good
throw a
amount.
cool 100 gold down. Buy yourself a manor, kids.
Who's the oldest one there?
Let me see. I think it's the 9 years old one.
Wouldn't it be Fish's? Didn't Fish have an older sister?
Yes, he has. Oh, the Medusa girl. It's
Yeah, she's a teen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say
Okay,
she's
let's-
15 years old.
Let's give them 135 gold all at once.
No.
Why don't why don't
Go ahead.
why don't we give it to like a real grown up, and
Rose
then
should take care
they
of them.
can go and ask when they need stuff.
Better
Let's
idea.
give them to
Like,
Hagar, like
Yeah.
as an account for giving the
For food.
provisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give the girl the 15 I gave. To just like have as emergency money, basically. And then the other 120 to Hagar as like a tab for them.
Yes.
It's funny because I said that a 15 years old is a teenager, but for a medieval standard, she would be
Grown ass adult.
Be an
Yeah.
adult. Yeah. She'd already
Um,
have 3 kids and 2 husbands.
Yeah.
We're not gonna think about it.
Yeah. Let's keep on our current understanding, please. But
I
yeah.
mean, let's be fair. Dara's like 400 years old and she acts like she's 12. So age is very relative in this world.
It's relative. Time is relative.
How old is Fish?
Fishes, I would say he's a 7 years old, and his sister
So-
is 13.
So Blythe is gonna go to Charlie, the teenage Medusa, and say, "Here is some money for you in case there's emergencies. Fish's sister is around your age. Putting you in charge for the night, okay? The two of you and Fish's sister. There's also, if you need anything, get dinner from Hagar's. Fish and his sister know where that's at. We've got money there that you all can buy some meals, okay? And I know this is a lot, but you've been through a lot and you're doing a great job. The sister should be here soon, okay?
Okay.
And we're gonna be at the tavern, so if you need anything at all, we're right there, okay?
Okay.
Got this.
Did you
And a
hear
star.
that?
I taught them how to hunt.
She says to the kids, "Did you hear that? I'm in charge now. If anyone disobeys me, I'll turn you into stone."
I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
and I high five her.
That's problematic.
I'm just kidding. But behave.
Good babysitter threat. Okay. Good. We pawned the children off on the children. Let's go get a couple rooms at Haggard's and give him some money for these kiddos.
Okay, you go to Hagar.
See if we can help. See if we can help him at all with finishing up rebuilding his tavern that the other people definitely burned down.
DM, remind me, I don't remember exactly which shops were in Thorpe. But is there anywhere to buy ink in Thorpe?
Yeah,
Ink or dye?
it's a fairly common item. I would say you could find there. 1 ounce bottle of ink is 10 gold pieces.
Okay. On our way, I'm gonna kind of branch off from the group, and I'm gonna go buy some ink.
Cool.
And then I'll meet up with them back at the tavern after.
I think as soon as we get a room, as soon as we go to the tavern, Blythe is gonna like give a big smile to Hagar and say, "Did you miss her?"
He makes a stern look towards you. You feel like
Pouts a little bit.
he's a little angry by the way he's looking at you. He growls a little. Of course I miss you. Come here, and then he goes for a hug.
She gives him a big old bear hug.
Yeah. Well, it's been so much time. I already forgave you for burning down my tavern. No problem. That's all in the past now.
Definitely those other guys. It was definitely those other guys. I
I
promise.
know, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
did you see him throwing fireballs around? What a dick.
You got a room for us or two even?
I'm still rebuilding, but I have somewhere you can stay for the night. It's just
We're not picky.
it isn't as much as comfortable as once was.
As long as it's a place to lay our heads and I can read some books, I think that's all we need. Um, is your kitchen up and running?
Yeah, you could say that.
How about I go fix some stuff up for you, Hager?
Well, be my guest.
Then Blythe's gonna hand him the money from Urist and Ned and say, so while we were gone, we ran across some kids who are escaping some horrific situations. We'd like to put this money down for them to use to buy food from the tavern. We're going to be on the road for a day and come back, and we want to, after starting tomorrow. So we wanted to make sure they had food accessible to them, if that's okay.
Sorry, how many children?
There's 10 of them. Here's 120 gold. If you need more, we
9.
can give you more. 9 of them, yes.
Yes.
Well, 11, including Fish and his sister.
Yeah, we don't count them.
Well, okay. He takes a look at the gold. That's enough for a long time.
I want to make sure they're okay, and we've got some people coming to help us take care of them, but we just want to make sure they're good.
You know that I trust your judgment. I know that you didn't go. You wouldn't go around stealing children if it weren't for a good cause, but if word spreads out, there could be trouble for you. Are you sure you?
We didn't
Only-
kidnap anybody. We liberated them. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips and be all extra looking.
We're working on finding a permanent solution soon, so hopefully this will only be a couple days, and you and Rhaenys are the only ones we've told. So,
Okay.
and that's why we didn't bring them here to stay, to keep things a little quieter than that. But we appreciate it. Blythe's gonna look at everybody and say, so if if you all don't need me, I've got some reading to do.
Blythe?
Not the dangerous one.
Okay. You know I hate doing exorcisms.
I know. Blythe looks seriously at him and says, listen, you don't have to tell me how dangerous that book was. I was the one who lost my mind.
I know. I just worry for you. I know that you are the responsible one, but I still worry for you.
I appreciate it. This book is run-of-the-mill spells, no evil, crazy energy, just spells on a page.
Fine. Enjoy your reality cheat codes, wizard.
Kinda
So are we
giggles and,
gonna? Sorry.
she's just gonna giggle and kind of take the book to wherever they're locking down for the night and sit cross-legged on the floor and just start burying her face in it.
Okay. question, go ahead and follow the rules for transcribing spells from a spell book to another.
Yep.
Uh,
Would you like a bardic?
just
I don't roll for these ones. It was
Yeah.
just the evil book.
it is not a skill check.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just you spend
Sorry, I
time
thought
and
it was-
money.
That's
But
right.
if you still got me for that second spell.
Yeah, I got you.
Cool.
Another 150, right?
Yeah.
It is down to 79 gold.
Blythe has none. So
We found
But
that
I thought-
ruby.
We have the
That's
ruby that
true.
needs to be appraised.
we might be better off waiting to go back to Thorpe for that, or for Mons Domos for that, though.
Probably get better money there for it. Oh, excuse me.
If we're
Drinking
going
my-
back.
We gotta go back. We gotta get paid. Eventually.
Eventually, yes. In a while.
Eventually. Send money care of Lexi and a cashier's check made out to Ned.
It's a letter of credit.
To Claire.
Yeah. That's gonna be to his government name.
Yeah, Ned doesn't
Are
have a
we-
bank account for Claire yet. Claire doesn't have a social security number.
No LLC under the company name. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Dara?
So are we just hanging out here until tomorrow, and then we're gonna go to the next place tomorrow?
Well, that way we can get a long rest.
Sounds good. I'm gonna take off for a bit, and Dara's gonna just leave.
Okay.
Ada's gonna follow her just to make sure that nobody's left alone.
I like it.
Before Vida leaves, Urist says, like, when you come back, I got to talk to you. If you have
Okay.
time.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
I'm a real wizard now. I have counterspell and fireball.
I think Ned will spend the night on the roof playing the song for Lyric, kind of facing towards Daggerwood. Like he did the night before the fight with the Bardlock.
Okay.
Yeah. Urist is meditating under the sky, also, waiting for everyone to come back. Looking at the clouds, asking himself who's up there.
Somewhere out there.
So, Vita, are you trying to stay hidden from me? Because I'm definitely gonna see if somebody's following me. Like, I'm watching my back as I go.
I so want to take that challenge. But no. She's very obvious about it.
Okay. And I just stop, and I'm like, Vita,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Making sure you're not left alone.
Why?
Because we have to stop doing that. Anything could happen when we're on our own, and we don't always have a way of getting to each other fast.
Look, I appreciate that you like to follow me every time I take off. It makes me feel loved, but I need to go on my own for a bit. But I'll be back tonight, and I'll be safe, I promise. Just, I need some time, okay?
Vita very much wants to ignore her and make sure she's safe. But I don't want to push, so can I just have her roll persuasion?
Yeah. And as Devonlynne, I'm fine if you want to push, like, but Dara would want to go for
Right.
this. Persuasion, which is hilarious because my persuasion is, oh, it's a 3. It was actually pretty good. Normally, everything charisma related for me is garbage.
That lovely taking a proficiency in something you have a negative stat in just to make sure you don't fail everything.
Yeah.
That's why I have a +1 to athletics.
I'm still at -1 for charismas. Okay, I think Vita at that point will let her go. But Vita will stay far enough back she can see where she goes before she turns back. So if she doesn't come back, we know where to go look.
I'm gonna head toward. I'm gonna like try to sneak, and I'm gonna head to where I kind of came above ground, which is like only an hour or so outside of Thorpe. Like it's pretty close. And I'm just gonna go to where I came above ground, and I'm gonna sit down with the bottle of ink that I have, which is like I got like a pretty blue ink, and I take out one of my daggers, and I start tattooing myself the way that like I learned in my tribe, and I write on either side of the inside of my forearm. On one side, I have like undercommon script, and then on the other, I have a different word in undercommon, and I draw 9 little stars in tattooing, and I spend a couple of hours like tattooing these 9 little stars on the inside of my arm, and then once they're done and I watch the sunset, I go back to the tavern, and I'll go find Vita as soon as I walk through the door and just be like, "See, told you I'd be back," and then I'm gonna head up to bed.
Does Vita see the stars, or are they covered?
No, they're not hidden at all.
Okay.
It wasn't
And
about
then-
hiding them. It was about hiding where she went.
Okay. And then I'm assuming she also sees the tattooed script on Dara.
Yeah, you probably would.
So I think she'll say, I'm assuming that you didn't do that yourself. Are you going to need to be able to draw words on yourself at some point?
No, I did this to myself with my dagger, and I pull out my dagger that's still probably a little bit bloody because hygiene isn't a thing. for
I
Dara.
mean, I don't mean the stars, I mean the script. Like the words
No.
that are tattooed.
No, I wrote it myself.
Are any of them misspelled? I'm remembering how low the intelligence score is.
Oh no.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
be.
That's why I was wondering.
Yeah. But I don't think it would be because it, like, Dara can't read Common or any of the other languages she speaks. But I feel like she would be able to communicate simple things in Undercommon. Because that's her, like, that's the language she grew up with.
Okay.
But I'm happy to roll an intelligence roll to see if it actually.
No. It's not that. Vita was going to just offer to help you again with your letters and your language skills. If you needed to do any more tattooing of, like, I don't know, runes or words or any kind of protective phrases or whatever on yourself again.
It's more of like a flavor thing. Like it's nothing mechanic wise, and it's just something for Dara that she's trying to like work through. But I'm always down to learn more.
Yeah, I think with her free time, she'll definitely like try and help, because she's noticed how much Dara struggles with like just simple words, like reading things. But that's a tale for another time. She needs to go find her little buddy.
Yep. Who is sitting somewhere near, probably somewhere like under the sky. Hey, Bunny.
Hey, Smushy.
Thanks for taking the time.
So what's up?
So I got this idea, and I wanted to bounce it off your head since I see you taking tinkering to the next level. So you may be able to pull it off. It's not urgent, but okay. See Lemmy here, and he shows the chain.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking if there's a way to make uh, Lemmy have retractable spikes. Basically, in game terms, if it's possible to enchant the chain to switch damage type from blunt to piercing using an action.
I think Vita will look puzzled and like think about it for a minute. But I don't think she knows enough, or if there's even going to be enough space in the chain for any kind of retractable spikes to fit. But I think she'll tell him that she'll think about it and see if she can find anything that might help with that. Because I don't even know mechanically, personally, like if it's possible with a chain in this setting under DM's rules. So I think she'll give him kind of a non-committal, I'll think about it and I'll look into it answer.
No, actually, just it was just an idea. He didn't want an answer right now, like so. It's perfect.
Okay.
Because I was thinking that uh, we may run into something like that would be impervious to bonk. See what I mean?
You want poke instead of bonk.
Exactly. At least the possibility of having poke, and since Lemmy is Lemmy, and I don't think I will use another weapon. I feel that I was given Lemmy for a reason.
I'll definitely think about it and see what if I can figure something out for you.
Sorry. That said, how are you holding up?
I'm alright.
I mean, I saw you playing Dead Mother to most of us with Little Miss Reason, and I think at least me and Ned are kinda guilty of not being there for you.
Well, I think we've already established that things don't seem to get to me, or at least I don't. Emotions don't seem to affect me as much as it does the rest of you. I think I'm okay. And I figure I'm probably the best one to look in on the rest of you and see how you're doing. But I do appreciate you returning the favor.
Yeah. Never mind.
No, if there's something more you need to get off your mind, go ahead.
Okay, roll perception. Yeah.
Oh, the tables have turned.
Can she roll perception? Because Urist is desperately trying to hide the fact that he's turning
Oh.
blood.
Okay, go ahead. I love how
Okay.
today I I'm more of a spectator than anything.
Well, passive perception 17, but I'll go ahead and roll it. So 16 if I roll for it, 17 if I don't.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely totally blushing. No, it's fine. It's
No.
fine. No,
Why
I'm
are you turning red? Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick. It's. Never
Smashy,
mind.
just tell me. Come on. It's me.
I know.
It's-
It's because it's you.
Vita has no idea what's going on. She just keeps pushing him. She just keeps prying.
Look, it's just that. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay. In our little dysfunctional family. Okay.
Okay.
Ned is my crazy twin brother. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Blythe is the mom.
Hey.
Chandara is the crazy aunt that never grew up. You are something else. I care about them. It's just that lately I came to think that I care about you more. And I am still struggling with this.
Her head just tilts a little bit and she's staring at him and trying to process what he's saying and what he means. And she's thinking about the fact that he's like blood red probably at this point. Oh.
This is why I didn't want to tell you.
Oh. Oh.
That's okay. Fine. I think I humiliated myself enough.
No, it's okay. I'm very flattered. I just haven't thought about it. Any of us, any of you like that.
I know. I accept it. Okay?
Just give
I
me
accept
some
it.
time to think about things, and as soon as I figure out how I feel,
No, Bunny.
I'll tell you.
Bunny, no. I am not asking anything of you. I don't have the right to. Okay? So don't feel
I think she just kind of like pats him on the head and just kind of like gives him like at this point in time like a sisterly hug and just kind of says, "You stay here for a few minutes and calm down and recenter yourself, and then you come find the rest of us, okay?"
Yes. If you come back and see like a very deep mine shaft, I'm down there.
Okay, I'll fly down and grab you if I have to.
Okay. Later. And here is Urist. Mentally punching himself in the face.
I think Ned walks past about 10 minutes later, and Urist is just face down on the ground, not moving.
Probably beating his head into the ground.
You good, buddy?
Sweet boy.
I think I. Oh no! Oh no! No!
You want to talk about it?
No! Talking about it is what got me into this mess. Oh god, no!
Okay.
Why?
Don't let him see you bleed, buddy. And Ned is just gonna kind of awkwardly walk away.
I think I just did, but we will talk about this when I am suitably drunk.
I like the sound of that.
Okay, let's get some long
Come on.
rest and proceed with the adventure.
Come on, it's like 3 in the afternoon. Let's get fucked up.
Yes, let's. I get a drink, or 10, or 20.
How drunk do you want to get today?
Chaos.
Ned is going to go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Lightweight.
That's a hot 7.
Hot 7.
Ned wanted to be drunk.
Yeah. He gave himself disadvantage on. I need
Yeah,
so bad to get
Ned sees Urist struggling and is comforting him in the only way he knows how, which is alcohol.
drunk.
Alcohol. Lots of alcohol. Why am I cursed with poison resistance?
Just, same here, just means you gotta drink twice as much.
Okay, fine.
So, how do you feel? Because I imagine at this point Urist has spilled his guts, or is he still playing it close to his chest with Ned?
Depends. Who is in the room with us?
Oh,
I went to go find Blythe, and I'm just like laying on the floor in Blythe's room while she's doing homework. Just doing the like 7-year-old girl with like feet up on the wall, butt against the wall, and just like sitting there like playing with her feet.
I think every once in a while, Blythe will get really excited about something like she's discovering as she's learning Fireball, and we'll show it to Dara, even though Dara probably won't understand any of it, but like Blythe will be like, so this is where the arcane energy connects with my fingers, and then the fire comes out, and it goes boom.
Wow.
I think I can
I
do
totally
the thing.
understand that.
But she like looks up at Dara and says, I think I can do the thing that burned the tavern down.
Ooh. Do it.
Not right now. No, Hagar will kill me, but I'll show you tomorrow.
Okay.
I think that's the point at which Vita comes wandering in to that room and is just got like this really weird, perplexed, introspective look on her face.
So my passive perception is a 12.
Mine's
This
an
is
18.
how
I clock it immediately.
Yeah, this isn't being hidden. This is quite obvious.
So you either ate some of my cockatrice jerky or you saw a ghost.
You
Which
still
one?
have that jerky?
Yeah,
Oh
don't
god,
you
it's gotta be
think-
so bad by now.
No, I think it's
Vita.
okay. Not yet.
Vita, what's up?
It
Are you okay?
It takes a minute for their words to sink in. And that's when she just like looks at them and is like, I think Urist likes me.
Well, yeah, he likes all of us, even if he's grumpy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
No, I think he likes me.
Does that make it different?
Oh, yeah. Like is euphemism for is attracted to.
Oh,
I I don't know how I feel or how I should feel.
Okay.
Oh.
You don't have to feel any way right now about it.
I mean, you can just sleep with them and see if it's fun and then decide after that.
I go bright red. Or you could just take it day by day. Now knowing that's something that's possibly on the table. I know sometimes it's hard to see what's right in front of you if you're not thinking about it that way.
Ida grabs like the fluffiest cushion and like sits on it, and it's just like, I've never had anyone like me before.
You probably had, they just never told you before.
Well, that is still just adds up to the same thing, though.
I guess.
Have you ever liked anyone before like that?
Vita just pauses for a moment and is just like, no, I've never had time to. I've never had enough alone time. I've always had to take care of the kids, or I had to take care of the master. I didn't have time for anything else.
Do you want someone to like you?
I think I do, but I don't know if I should. Like, do I deserve it?
Blythe just like immediately like sets the book down and like leaps up and wraps her arms around Vita. I was like, no. You deserve everything. So no, yes, you deserve that. That everyone, if they want it, deserves that. And kind of like she like scoots back and is like, well, you are kind, caring, very smart person or bunch. And it's no wonder Urist is infatuated with you. I think it can just be scary sometimes if you're not sure how to react to it, especially with someone you're close to already or like in a group with.
Why, you have sex with them and see how it goes. It's really quite easy.
Yeah. Vita's just like through
Breathing.
the fur that has grown back. If her fur could change colors, it would be changing bright red right now.
Making eye contact with anything other than Dara in that exact moment. As she says that yet again.
For Vita, like realizing what she said herself out loud, like I think she's like, she's trying to figure out like she thinks this should be a good thing and that she should like, and I don't want to say enjoy it, but like appreciate it or be flattered by it, but at the same time her sense of like duty and her sense of like being the responsible one is interfering with things. It's like, does she have the right to sacrifice like the group's security and unity if this were to go wrong? just to possibly make herself happy.
Blythe
And
is
I
gonna
don't
grab.
think she has an answer. I don't think she can come to an answer right now.
Perfect. Because Blythe was gonna grab her hand and say, "You don't have to know how you feel about him right now. Just take it day by day, and as you figure out how you feel about him, be honest with him and yourself, and that's all you can ask for."
And I know that I'm definitely not the smartest in our group, and I know that sometimes you guys think that my ideas are a little bit crazy, but I do know a couple of things. One of them is, if he makes you happy, then it's worth it. Just be happy. Do what makes you happy, because tomorrow we could all be dead. Like, dead. Like, no coming back in the ground. Well, maybe the necromancer might bring us back, but we could be very dead. And if you think for a minute that you would regret not spending time with them, then maybe it's worth it. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just do what makes you happy, because that's the only thing that matters to the rest of us.
And
Urist included.
Vita was definitely giving Dara like her full attention on that, and is really starting to realize that, well, she might not be the most intellectual of the group. She's definitely far more emotionally intelligent and intuitive than Vita is herself.
This
Than
bitch
any
be
of us are.
lies.
Any of us are, let's be real.
I didn't catch that last one.
I said she's much more emotionally intelligent than any of us are.
Yeah. That's very accurate. I think Vita's like kind of like getting it's overwhelming. It's too much for her to handle emotionally at once, and I think she's gonna like kind of try and like change the subject, like like so what are you working on?
I think I've figured out how to do the spell that caused the tavern to burn down.
Oh, you better not let Hager see you do that. Then he'll really blame us.
Yeah, no, it will be outside of the town only, because that's big. But I figured out how to do it, and I'm really excited.
I
And
wonder
then
what the boys are talking about.
trying to bring the tone back down, I think Vita's gonna look over at Dara and just be like, they're probably gossiping about the time you snuck off to be with Ned.
What?
And she just kind of starts giggling, like she's obviously giving you a hard time. She's not being serious.
I snuck off to be with Ned, and I don't remember it? I'm so disappointed in myself. I should remember that. That would have been fun.
Oh no.
Dara is genuinely confused.
Vita just face palms like, well, that backfired.
Oh, you're joking.
Yes, I'm totally joking right now because she keeps talking about just having sex with everything.
Look, there's not a lot to do in the Underdark. We had to make our own fun, okay?
Oh dear. Now just Vita's just thinking about all the weird things that could have gone on and just is just clapping her hands over her eyes and then her ears and just trying to block out these sounds and the images that are running through her head right now.
And I'm doing
nope,
that very
nope.
That very like bright pink, laughing, giggling because it's funny, but also sexual tension conversation. What?
Oh yes.
Dara's totally chill. Like, no fucks given.
No, that's because she keeps on giving them out like they're candy.
And Blythe might have kissed her betrothed like twice.
Okay. Pan back downstairs to the guys chatting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So listen, man, this is what you gotta do. Okay? Look.
So remember when like I left? Like they wanted.
Yeah, I remember.
They wanted to saddle me with a bowling chain, like made me a family man.
Fucking bitch.
Yes, and I told you that like people should like marry because
Cause you love her, right? You smells
exactly.
nice. She
So
smells nice.
it so happened that uh, I was talking with Bunny, okay,
Uh-huh.
and like he's the thing, I he, I Bunny, and you know, hug cuddle, okay,
Uh-huh.
my Fluffy, and she's like intelligent, and she's smart, and she knows things, and she's
Oh my god, you want a schmoosher.
she's very easy.
You want a
But
schmoosher.
but I know that like she's she's being like horrible, and
Yeah.
she's hoping, so said nothing, like nothing, because
Yeah, obviously.
she doesn't deserve like things being saddled. The thing is like I can't, when we were talking about like modding Lemmy, like
Uh-huh.
I got like all flustered, and she started pushing and asking, and she wouldn't drop the subject, so I had to
Uh-huh.
tell her. And now I want to like dig like the whole
No.
the wholest hole, and like stay there
Yours. Yours,
forever.
look at me. Look at me right the fuck now.
Which one? The one on the left or the one on the right?
Yes.
Okay.
You are a handsome man. You're the handsomest man I've ever met. And she would be lucky to have you. And that's got his finger in yours chest. She would be lucky to have you.
Okay.
Alright? Maybe you came on a little strong. Just a little. That's okay. That's okay. You got this, baby. You got this.
I know I don't.
Yeah, you do. Cause you know what you're gonna do from here? You're gonna play it
No.
cool. You're gonna be cool as ice. Alright? And you're gonna see her tomorrow and you'll be like, hey baby, what's up? What's up? It is what it is. And you know, it's gonna be fine.
That sounds fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but like, what if you get loose?
A lot, actually. I mean, not my dignity. I have none
Yeah,
left
well,
right now.
yes, well, exactly. See, this is why you don't get attached. I'm happy for you. It's gonna be okay.
I hope.
You're a handsome man, and you deserve schmooshes.
Yes. Too handsome left. He falls from the from the stools,
Excelsior! Ned falls over backwards.
and they both pass out.
Hagar was taking a look at you the whole time, and he says, "Well, they were so drunk they actually thought the tavern still had stools for them to sit upon."
pantomiming sitting the entire time, just perfect wall squats.
Yeah.
Oof,
Uh,
painful.
Ned
Bots are
wakes up with a
painful.
perfectly round ass in the morning.
All right.
Lyric.
Well,
So
Yeah.
fast forward.
At what point does Dara come down during this?
I think Dara would have stayed upstairs until. Oh, she'd have come down while you guys were passed out on the floor for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
I think
Snoring
she
on
sees,
the floor.
she sees Ned go, Excelsior! And fall out of his chair.
Non-chair.
His imaginary chair.
Yeah.
Ooh, the road trip tomorrow is gonna be rough.
Yes.
I'm gonna go over and see them both kind of passed out on the ground, and then have this like big internal conflict, and then I'm gonna take out my ink that I still have, and I'm
Oh
gonna draw
no.
little hearts on both their cheeks,
Oh,
and then a little poop on the nose
yes.
in ink.
Hagar says,
Happy
Hagar, oh, they were pretty emotional today. I imagine your bunch has been through a lot.
Yeah, they say having kids is a bitch, but we didn't realize it was gonna be this rough.
Uh, want some help with them?
With what? Burying them? I think they're still alive.
Are you going to just leave them sleeping on the ground? Yeah, why not?
No, I don't know. Are you supposed to not? Okay, we'll take them upstairs. I am gonna attempt to lift them. But I am the most weak member of our party.
Yeah, Hagar goes, let me help you. You take the small one.
Okay, I will attempt to. But they're both small. Which one's smaller?
Ned weighs less, I'm sure.
No, Ned, definitely Ned.
I will pick up Ned.
Blythe could come help, but she also has a -1 to strength. So
So does Vita.
Yeah, I will attempt to lift them up. I'm like, where's that damn bag of holding? Okay, and I will fling Ned over my shoulder like a buck that I've just hunted. Carry him upstairs.
our ladies are nimble, not strong.
Well, after what looks like a very long night of sleep, it's almost noon when you wake up. And as soon
Ned-
go ahead.
Ned wakes up and goes, oh God, why am I not dead?
Who says we aren't? Ouch.
Stop existing so loudly.
You guys slept way too long.
Good morning.
They keep hammering.
It's lunchtime.
Ned casts silence as a ritual spell centered on himself.
I don't think he can take the 10 minutes. I think he'd have too much of a headache.
On a spell. Just kidding.
You bitch.
Actually, you know what? No, not just kidding. She cast tower spells. He chose to cast silence.
You bitch.
Yes. Food. Oh, food. Okay.
Vita
Ready
just
to go?
pushes a plate with a steak over at him.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Blythe hands a Bloody Mary to Ned.
I would be lost without you. And he just
I
starts
know.
drinking.
I know.
Alright, so where are we headed today, ladies and gents?
Hagar is you were still in the tavern, right? On the inn.
Yes.
Hagar passes by you, say, "Well, actually, there was someone looking for you earlier today. I don't know if you have plans, but you should take a listen to what the little guy has to say. It sounded important."
Ned perks up at the word little guy. By
What did
little
he
guy,
look like?
you mean you talking me little or Urist little?
Hey, you,
And I'm
you're,
gonna open up my bag and make sure George is still in there. Come in there, little guy.
it takes some time, but after a while, you can, out of the void, you can see he is opening his eyes and say, I'm fine, I'm fine."
Okay.
No, Ned's little.
Okay. Where can we find him? Where can we find him?
I told him to stop by later.
Okay.
Or maybe you can, I don't know if you want to find him in town.
Was this little guy like very well dressed?
He was dressing funny, actually. He had this thing on his eye. Almost like a spyglass, but like a mini
Okay.
spyglass on his eye.
Honeyfoot.
Yes.
Mhm. I guess we can't avoid him.
Yeah, get rid
Oh yeah, I guess I should get my face on. And Ned snaps his fingers and like turns into like a dressed down looking Claire, not glamour and glitz, but very like au natural.
A lovely like 90s pretty woman fancy dress.
Yes. It's the cutest little romper.
And away we go.
Okay. Are you
We'll
going
try
to
and find him.
you're going to wait or are you going to find him on town?
Try and find him.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try and find him.
After a short stroll through town, you eventually glances at a halfling man with a very big backpack and what looks like some sort of mechanical contraption on his left eye. You have seen the halfling known as Clovis before on the town, but he's I think he's the only NPC you haven't interacted since level 2. But his token was on the tavern the whole time, so
Oh shit! We've never talked to you.
Ew.
To
Yeah.
once initially when we were looking for like information on the Hag King or on the Oni, but I think that's the only time we've talked to him.
yeah, but it's only he sees you as he turns the corner and he starts waving from like 30 feet away, saying, "Ah, hey!"
Hi. We heard you were looking for us.
Yes. I think we have met before, right? If not, my name is Clovis. Nice to meet you all. And he shakes everyone's hand. Do you want
Nice to meet you.
do you want to stop by a drink on Haggers or anywhere we can talk?
Sure. We can go back to Haggers. Absolutely.
Okay.
Go back with him to Haggers.
Okay. As you sit down, he asks for a tea, and as soon as you are all set, you can notice he's clearly showing he's a little bit nervous. He's shaking his hands, and it's a excited type of nervousness, and he's well. Well, I heard a bunch of good things about you, and word is you are helping people around town. Am I right?
We're open to helping people out depending on what the work is.
And the
What's
pay.
going on?
Oh,
What's
yes.
going on?
It's well, actually, I am some sort of a researcher myself, and well, I was looking for some rare, for some hidden, and for some forgotten. You can. I'm trying to portray someone that is actually stumbling on words. It's not me, Ariel, that's stumbling. Just so you know. But he says, uh, well, it's a forgotten old ruin, like a crypt, like a underground, like a dungeon. It's sort of hard to picture it, but it is a place that I was theorizing existed near Torpe, and I think I found it after what's been like 5 years searching around it, and eventually I got the sponsorship I was hoping to get, and now we stumbled upon the door. I'm so excited I cannot even find the words, but what I need from you, I don't know if you're available for this sort of work, but I wanted someone to some security for I don't know what will be found down there, but it sounds like a dangerous place. It feels like it. Anyways, are you interested in that line of work?
How far how far underground?
Well, it is not as deep as I expected, but it's it's an underground network. Probably has been I don't know if it was a whole town, but it probably was at least someone's house in the past of someone that lived underground. I still have my theories, but it's very, very, very amazing.
Dara just kind of like crouches down, kind of behind Blythe's legs, and it's just very quiet.
Well, we'll have to talk this over as a group. Just we run on equal parties here, so we all get equal say. But we've done this kind of work before. What would the pay be for such a job?
But well, we can see. Do you accept credit? Because I I spent most of the sponsorship on workers to dig, and now that I found something, I know I'll have more in the future. I just don't have it right now. You see.
Okay. Do you mind giving us just a minute, dear, to talk?
No, no. I'll go outside and take fresh air. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Blythe is going to kind of just like grab Dara's hands and say, "We do not have to do this if you do not want to."
And Vita will just rest a hand on her shoulder as well.
Urist nods.
We need the money.
Or, I mean, the four of us can go and you can stay with the kids and make sure they're okay.
I'm not letting you go underground without me.
Just remember, if you decide to come with us, this time you won't be down there alone.
That is correct.
And Blythe just
We
like to
have your
squeeze the
back.
hand and says, like squeezes the hand and says, "You will not be alone."
I'm gonna, holding onto Blythe's hands, I'm gonna look down at the fresh tattoos that I just gave myself. Okay. Let's do this.
Okay.
Ned?
If it's okay, I think I'm going to stay here.
Are you okay
You
now?
guys, I'm okay. I've been thinking a lot about what you said, Blythe, about needing to take care of myself and not just the people around me. And I think it's you guys got this. You don't. There's not going to be any lords to sweet talk or any whores that need sweet talking to get into their beds. You won't need me down there. I'll stay here. I'll keep an eye on Hager's place. Keep watch on Fish and the kids. I'll try and make us some money back here.
It's not that we would need you. It's more like we would want you. But I understand your point. You do you.
I do like the idea of someone being here with the kids until the sisters can get here. I think.
Yes, I appreciate you looking out for them.
I'll stay here. You guys go ahead, but take Squidly with you. At worst, he can be he can help scout ahead, and he'll do more good for you guys than he will for me back here.
Or I can at least send them back to you if we get into
Exactly.
dire straits.
Okay.
Okay. Clovis?
Yes?
We're in. One of us needs to stay here to take care of some business in town, but you've got the four of us.
On one condition though.
Yes?
Since it does look like we are working on credit, if down there are useful artifacts or treasures, for the lack of a better term, that are of no what's the word, archaeological value, we will take them as payment. Everybody agree?
Sounds fair.
What do you mean exactly? Because I mean,
Non-research item.
we can share
Not
equally.
Okay, we can share equally, but if your credit falls through, we get sole ownership.
And I kill you.
no.
Stop, you can't kill everyone, sweetie.
Oh,
I'll kill you a little bit. And then I'll bring you back.
well, that's the part of you no one told me about. You kill people. Funny.
This drops Dara's hands and like clasps his shoulder. She's joking.
Oh, it was a joke. Okay. I should feel better now, but I don't. But anyways, well, there are some things you have to know. If you ask around the archaeological, scientific research community, there are some people out there that think my theory it's a joke. But I swear, especially now that I have proof that I found something concrete, it is not a joke. It is a serious research, and it's it's we are on the verge of something great, something unseen, unexpected. Uh,
When you say concrete, do you mean the door?
yes. What's behind the door? I
Be
think
nothing.
Sorry.
It'd be nothing.
We could, but I have a gut feeling. This is the time. After all my attempts, this is going to be the one. Anyways, what
So
do you
before
know?
you go, what is your theory
Well,
that you're trying to prove?
you are an elf, right?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay. I think I've met with some. I discussed this matter with some elves before, especially Rainis. But there is some archaeological evidence to the existence of a civilization on these lands that predate even the elves. I I
Oh,
I get to call them the Leshay because of some of the runes on the archaeological findings. But it seems like even Rainis, even other uh, specialists in elven culture disagree with me that the current civilization of elves are the first to to inhabit these lands. But I'm here to prove them wrong if I can.
Life, her entire body shifts a little differently now. She is in snaps out of laughing, and she looks at him and says, "Who else have you shared this with?"
Oh, well, anyone that has taken a read at my paper and laugh at my theory, my sponsorships, I had to explain my theory and everything I intended to do, and even some of the workers that I hired to dig on the site. So yeah, there's a bunch of people interested in that.
Do me a favor. Until we go down, be very careful about who else you share this with. I'm not laughing. And this is not a joke.
I have a horrible feeling about this.
Well,
But
Oh, yeah.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson in the past. I usually talk about my theory and people laugh at me, so yeah, I don't go around talking about it too much recently. But since you mentioned, I'll do what you say, and yeah.
Just until we can go down and see what is actually down there. You may not be. There are some people who are very powerful and very knowledgeable who would be very interested in this. And until we find out what it is, we should try and keep you shielded from them. Well, I guess we're going underground, guys.
I guess so.
yep.
Well, I suggest you plan ahead and prepare and buy everything you need while you're still here. And that is because now it's me, Ariel, say, if you want to go down there, you will find yourselves in a dungeon. And since you are in a dungeon, we'll be using some dungeon crawling rules. From the moment you enter the dungeon, we will be counting exactly how much weight are you carrying, how much rations and water do you have, how many torches or bottles of oil to fill up the lanterns you have. So if you if you don't have that on your character sheets, let's buy them while you're still in Torpe. And Dungeon Crawl will have some more how can you say, more green rules for.
Do you have dancing lights, Dara?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And I also, my Eyes of Night will come in very handy during this.
Venus got fairy fire.
Cries inhuman. So, yeah. Okay. But yeah, rations and water.
Mechanics question.
Mm-hmm.
Will the dungeon count as, so my favorite terrain is like underground / underdark.
Mm-hmm.
Will this count for it? Because some DMs are like, everything underground is underdark. Other ones are like, no, it's a specific area.
Yeah, since there is a similar place to the Underdark, but since it isn't as big and as sprawling as the Forgotten Realms Underdark. Let's say that some underground areas count as Underdark, like this one. But are you using the player's handbook? Ranger traits? Don't you want to use
Yes.
the Tasha's ones?
What's the difference?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, because when Ranger came out originally, everyone agreed that was one of the worst classes. So in Tasha's they gave it a little tweak here and there, but you have to change some features, like you don't get your favorite enemy. Instead, you have a trait called favorite foe that allows you to deal a little bit more of damage in one creature you're facing. Like, it's kind of like Hunter's Mark.
It's Hunter's Mark without a spell slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
instead of natural explorer, you get deft explorer, which, like, at level 1 gives you free expertise as well as 2 languages, and you get extra features as you level up. They're pretty good.
Okay, I was using the original. Is it okay if I switch that? Because I did not know about that. So I will switch
you're
that
choosing. Yeah, you have to choose one, or you can choose like one of the features from one book and the other from another. It's your build, but you have to pay attention because some of the feature replaces the others. So you have to to make your choosing. But yeah, go ahead, take a read at that and build your character however you feel more appropriate. Everything that's official release, it's okay for everyone to use. There's don't even need to ask.
Sounds like I know what you're doing over the next couple days. Yeah.
And well, guys, I think that is it for today. Anything else you want to prepare ahead? Like, we can send the shopping lists during the week. There's no, if you want to buy rations and prepare food, anything like that. But and also we won't be having Ned with us for next week and for the following, I think.
Yes.
Okay. That's unfortunately, but Ned has let us with his amazing role playing today. for us to not miss him that much, but we will. Either way.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Soon you will be
Alright.
back and the party will be complete again.
With some Lachey lore, hopefully.
Let's see what you.
I'm gonna have to
find.
start watching the stream to stay up to speed on everything.
Yep.
Well,
Awesome. Well, really fun session, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good session.
yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys. See you next
Lovely
time.
session, y'all. See you next
Good.
time.
See you next
Everybody,
time.
good night.
Good night.
Good night.